we now have a subcomponent. So the next step is to have a button over here so that we can just change the state of this item. Okay, so if I go over here and then start having a button, and then I want to say on click and fire an event. Okay, so what I can do is just go over here, set up an event called toggle, and that calls this toggle. So that's basically a toggle event that we set up. Okay, so what I now need to do is passing this item to this toggle event so that I can just basically change the state. So then I can manage all the state in this one component and then leave this one without anything to do with changing behaviors. Right, so if I go over here and then have this toggle, so then what I can do is coming over here saying on click I want to call this prop toggle. Okay, so you imagine on click it will just use the toggle event of the properties, which is this one over here. However, because we call it over here, then the context of this toggle is different from the context over here. So if I want to call this event, then basically it's not going to happen if I try to trigger it from here. So one way to get around that is to do bind this. So that basically it fires this toggle event of this context. So when I say bind this, it sets this up, this app class up as the context of this toggle event. So if I do this, then when I click that, it's gonna fire this event. So if I do console log hide in here, okay, then you'll see when I click that, it's gonna fire an event over there. So now I save it, and then okay, so let's put some text over here. Right. So I clear all of this up. There you go. You see it calls high from this component. Okay. So what we actually want is passing this particular to-do item to be here so that I can just set the state. I can change the state, change the item, and then put that back to the state so that the state has a new item. That's the target. But how do I pass that on then? One way to do that is going over here, and then we start creating a method, a new method called toggle. Okay, and then we say this .prop .toggle. So copy that. So when you click that, you want to basically fire this event. Okay, passing in this .prop .to do item. So then what that does is giving this to do item to this toggle. So if I go over here and then put to do item and then console log that, in theory, well, ideally you want to see this to be printed out here. However, if you do that, you need to do bind this over here as well, so that when you fire this up, it's actually calling this toggle event rather than the toggle event of this particular item. Okay, so if you do this .toggle, you want the this to refer to this component rather than referring to this button. So I now do this, save that, and then refresh the page. Okay, if I click toggle, Toggle is not defined. Hang on a second. Toggle is not defined. Toggle this dot toggle by this. That's the problem. Okay, so if I refresh that, toggle is still not defined. It says line 58 over here. Hang on a second, it's not up to date. So now if I clear that, there you go. It gives me back that to-do item. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. And the important part is you always need to do a by this. So if I show you, if I don't do a by this, and then in here, console log this dot prop. So they basically, if I don't do that, I can just show you like this, and then if I click that, you see cannot read props of now. So in here, basically this is now, so it can't read the props. Okay, that's why I need to put this in. Okay, so yeah, this is one way of doing it. The other way of passing the data is you can actually do this dot prop dot toggle. Okay, so then you don't even need this function. You don't even need that method. So what that does is on click, I only want to, I'll fire the toggle of, basically I want to fire this one. So what can what I can do in here is passing in the to-do item as the second parameter, and then refresh the page again. I'll see the same outcome. To prove that it's working, okay, so if I now put hi in here, to prove it's not caching, that makes it work. There you go, it's got hi and that. Okay,